This is the review for the Baby Brezza Formula Pro. We're going to be doing, we're going to have a baby soon. So a lot of the products I'm going to be doing reviews for are probably going to be baby stuff for a while. Hoping still to mix some electronics into there, but a lot of it's going to be baby stuff. So if you are having a baby or interested in baby products, please follow and let us know. If you have anything you're looking at, maybe we can review it. This video is going to be an unboxing right now, so we haven't had the baby yet. And then in a few weeks, 2 weeks we're going to have a baby, hopefully. And after that, I'm going to use the product for about 2-3 weeks, and then I'll continue this video and put it all into one video. So one video, this video, will be the unboxing, and then a review after a few weeks of using it. I've heard a couple good things about it. My wife really wanted this. We are going to be formula feeding, and we heard about how easy this was to use and set up, and it just seems really nice. This is on Amazon currently for $180. I think that's a little expensive. I think you're kind of feeling right now it's kind of trendy because it's kind of a baby Keurig. And while that may be true, I guess we're not going to find out until I actually start using it, but it really seems like that. But it seems very simple and easy to use and actually really convenient, because if we're new parents, our first kid, so reading and hearing what everyone else is saying, you have to warm the bottles up, test the bottles. This does all of that for you. You say, I want 2 ounces of formula. You put the formula on top, it mixes it in, you have a 2-ounce bottle. I want 4 ounces, 6 ounces, 8 ounces, and it does the correct temperature. So you don't have to worry about, is the bottle too hot? Is it too cold? This is supposed to do everything for you. There's also a dial inside of this that you set for which formula you're going to use. I guess because each formula uses a different amount, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. So you set the dial, which formula you're going to use, and how much. Until I open it, I don't really know. What if a new formula comes out on the market? How do you do it? How will you set it up? I won't know that until I actually open it up and possibly use it. So right away, this is not heavy, but it's heavier than I thought it would be. It definitely feels like a Keurig. Nice handle to carry it by. The box looks really nice. It tells you what it is right away. You can see what it is. So let's go ahead and unbox it and see what the hell's inside. Okay, let's go ahead and open it. Got my handy dandy pocket knife from when I was a kid, so there needs to be any cutting. Stop. It is extremely important that you follow the instructions included in this Formula Pro package. Find the instructions manual inside and read it completely before using your Formula Pro. I guess because you could really mess your kid up. Okay. It looks like I have a gift receipt there, so we'll put that on the side. Okay, so I guess this is that Cyclone, the thing that you would set up. From the Pro Powder Container Setup Guide, yes, this is exactly what I was saying. Over here it measures, I'll take some resolution pictures and put these in. It's like measuring wheel, setting 1 to 10. To find the correct setting for your formula brand and type, please visit their website. Turn it. Example. Okay, so it shows what an example looks like. Set the powder container parts. Shows you how to put it together. Extremely important. Number 5. Place the front edge of locking cover under the tab in the powder container. Okay, big red letters. Make sure the front edge. On the back, it just shows all the pieces. Pretty simple. A drip tray, a bottle grate, funnel compartment, power cord base, axle. Oh man, it's like a crazy thing there. Okay. Instructions, and in the back some kind of plastic tab. I don't know what the heck that's for. Oh, that goes on, I guess if you're for Spanish. I don't really know. Okay. Warning. The Formula Pro to work properly, you must follow these 4 essential steps to assemble the powder container parts correctly. Keep the powder level above the minimum line. Clean the funnel and underside of powder container every day or after every 4 bottles made. That's a pain. How much is this going to really take to clean? That's the one thing I did read about this, though, is people are complaining about you really do have to clean it. but people saying it's easier than doing bottles still. So, and many people complaining that, hey, everything's dirty. Why is it dirty? And people saying you didn't clean it. So make sure you clean it, I guess, you know. I'll be able to tell you later in this video after I use it for a few weeks. This is, oh, that didn't really feel like it should have come off. I mean, it does, but. Oh man, what's that? It's CD? Oh no, it's not a CD. So it's an empty box there. Well, not really empty. It looks like it's the drip tray and the powder. Yeah, it's the bottle grate and drip tray. Let's go ahead and take this out. This looks just like a Keurig. Baby Keurig, overpriced. Okay. So now, after I take a bag, yeah, that's it. There's nothing else in this box whatsoever. Empty box. Hooray. Okay. So yeah, let's get nice up and close up personal with this thing. A lot of warning on this. I mean, I guess it's for a baby. That's why everything's like warning. You can kill and hurt and damage. Max is 50 ounces of water, 1.5 liters. Minimum looks to be, I don't know, I guess 10 ounces. Nice and white and clean. See-through water container. The power is on the back there with this plug. Let's see how long that plug is, because to be honest, I don't know about everyone, but not everyone has a lot of counter space. I know we don't. I have all this other crap on there, including the stupid Keurig that we don't even use, but let's not talk about that. So here's that bottle crate, bottle gradle and drip tray. Comes apart, push down here to lock. Man, this is really nice because there's instructions on everything right there. Push down here to lock. Like, that's pretty simple, but okay. All right. How long is this cord? It looks to be the standard. Take the plastic cover off. Looks to be the standard length, maybe 3 feet. I can't even get it all in the frame. It's so long. Yeah, I'd say it's about 3 feet. Wraps around. And buttons are very poppy. Almost like if you've ever had the pumps, Reebok pumps, that's what it kind of feels like. It looks like there's only ounce, start, and stop. Or stop, start, stop, yeah. Okay. Warning, please read and understand all warnings before use. You can't even open this without... Remember to check setup, clean regularly, and dry completely. This is another thing. Do we have to use distilled water? Do I have to use filtered water? I guess I would have to read the instructions, and I will let you know further in this video. Open, please. It's a turn. Oh, okay. You can actually see that right there. It turns to unlock. English and Spanish before use. Read all instructions yet again. Warning, this locking cover must be inserted under the tab here. Okay, yeah, there's a small tab you can see right here that's saying it must be under. So let's take this vortex off. It's got some, you can actually see that really well. Some mixing things, you know, so hopefully it mixes well. No one complained about it mixing well, so we'll see in a couple weeks. Okay, so this picks up. And it's another tab. That's that tab that we saw in the back of the manual. There's another one there. So I guess it's an extra one. And then this picks up as well. So this is what you clean, you know. This is not really too difficult to put this under here on the tab. Easy. Easy to remember. And I mean, there's this tab here, so I remember to put that tab over top. And then turn it. That's pretty pretty straightforward. There's a little thing here. I guess that's the water. It shoots out. And then you can look down here into the funnel, and that goes into your bottle. That, man, this is already, I really did not want to like this, but so far I'm really liking it. You put it on here for a big bottle. You can also move it up to here for a small bottle, and it's just like those, like when you go to a convenience store and it has the racks. So you can lock it in, boom, so it holds the bottles. This is pretty cool so far. Different size bottles. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sizes. I guess that's the smallest, and obviously this is the largest. Well, 5 bottles, the bottom one. I don't think that really works because there's 2. So it's 5 bottle sizes you can put in there. Pretty neat. Does this reservoir come off? I think it does not. No, it's got to. You gotta clean the baby water. Oh, there it is. Okay, just lifts right off. You can see the electronics. This little thing here. Okay, that moves. Oh, okay, so this is your heating plate. This silver thing on the bottom here, that's your heating plate. That's gonna keep your water warm. Does it warm the water the entire time it's plugged in? Is it like a Keurig where it warms it just when you use it? We're gonna find out. Okay. How easy? Oh, there's a little filter on the bottom. There's a rubber gasket. Oh, there's a rubber gasket in this that kind of seals this in. Okay. All right. I don't know what this is. What the heck is that for? It's a little nub here. And it's got a hole. What does it do? It can't suck the water that way. It's got to suck the water to the bottom. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out in the next video. Okay. Looks pretty cool. Next part of the video is going to be in a few weeks when well, it'll actually be in a few seconds for you guys, but it'll be a few weeks for me when I actually start using this. Again, we are going to be performing the feeding, so this is why we're using this. It was recommended to us by one other person that my wife works with. So that's why we're going to check it out, and the reviews are raving. It's raving reviews for this, so I'm excited. And it's tech, so I'm kind of interested in it. The baby Brezza, let's see how it actually holds up. Okay, so now that we've used the Brezza for about 4 weeks, I have some pretty good things to say about it, and some also pretty negative things to say about it. It is useful. It's very handy. However, it also is not very useful or handy. We have been using the Gerber Good Start, the Soothe. We used Similac, but he's kind of got really gassy with that. We used the Gerber, I think the Gentle. He still had a little gas with that. So we've been using the Soothe stuff for a while. We have used all 3 of them with the baby Brezza. They're all very similar results in the way they mix. The inside of this, at the beginning when we unbox, there's a gear that has numbers on it. What you do is you go on the website for the baby Brezza, and it tells you what number to set that gear to designate which formula you're using, so it knows how to mix it perfectly and correctly. So you do have to change that. With that said, it's kind of a problem. I mean, we have been using this Soothe for a couple weeks now, so we haven't had to adjust the dial inside of it, so that's not so bad. But if you're switching formulas, which I guess you can do, I've spoken with some friends who have done that with their kids, you know, you do have to empty this out, change the gear. And what did I say? You have to empty this out to change the gear. If you're mixing formulas, you're going to have to hopefully hope that the gear is correctly set to a correct measurement. Because each formula has its own setting. I don't know how well you're going to be able to mix formulas, or if you're going to be able to have some of the Similac in here and then maybe put a Gerber inside of that. Is it going to affect it? I'm not really too sure. It does look like it measures about the same. When you buy these different formulas, the scoops inside are very similar in size. You know, some of them are longer but narrow. Some of them are shorter but rounder. You know, so I'm not too sure if it's really the same. I looked up online. Moms are saying, and dads are saying the same thing, that the scoops are the same, but I'm not really too sure why you have to change the gear on the inside. Another problem is this is 2 ounces, 4, 6, 8, and 10 ounces. There's no in between. The problem with that was we were not feeding 2 ounces or 4 ounces for about a week and a half, maybe about 2 weeks or so. So we really couldn't use this. I'm not going to make 4 ounces and throw an ounce away. We all know formula is not cheap, so why am I going to throw an ounce of formula out? I'm also not going to make 2 ounces and have my baby be so hungry. So we weren't using this. And if when we go to 5 ounces, we probably won't use this either because we're going to be in between the 4 and 6. So it's kind of a problem. I mean, I guess if you're spending $180 on this, you have money to waste on ounces of formula. I don't think anyone really does. So when we move the 5 ounces of formula, we're not going to use this because I can't justify throwing out an ounce of formula. It's very easy to use. You just set which ounces you're going to use and hit the start button, and you'll see it mix. I'm going to get a little closer up and you can see how it works on the inside. Right now, I'll show you how it works on the inside. Okay, so this is with the top off. This is this top cylinder. What this does is this spins and pushes the formula into the bottom, which has that hole which fills up to show the correct amount of formula per formula brand. So this will spin, and I can't spin it because it just doesn't work. You spin it and it'll fill that gap up and then drop it down. You can see we have 2 ounces, 4 ounces, 6, 8, 10 ounces, start, stop. You can see the temperature is green, so we're ready to go. This here, there's a light for the filter. What you do when that comes on is just easily, you pull this out, and this resets it. You can see there's kind of some clumping here with the formula. It kind of sits on that. You can clean this out. You can see the light is now on. Rinse it out real quick, and then it just slides back in. One hand, boom, done. The main problem I have with this thing is here. You can see that this says refill when powder reaches minimum line. Minimum line is not really that minimum. Unless you're keeping a lot of formula handy, it's difficult to keep formula above that minimum line. Now when that reaches a minimum line, it'll still work. You know, it'll still fill that spot up. It just gets a little harder when it gets lower and lower. So I kind of feel like you waste some formula because you're either going to be throwing it out or you're going to have to go ahead and dump it out of this and then use a scoop anyway, unless you don't want to waste it. And again, mixing formulas is going to be difficult because, again, if you're switching formulas, this minimum line is difficult to obtain and to be above when you're mixing and you're changing formulas. Another problem I have with it is really all it is taking water from this reservoir, it warms it up, and then brings it into this funnel. This up here, the formula spins, and the formula drops down. So it's mixing the water and formula right here. I wish it was more thorough. Like I said, there's no clumping. My wife said because it's warm water, it doesn't clump, but there's really no mixing. You look at the bottle and it doesn't need to be mixed. It looks really good, but I guess it works, but I just thought it would be more than just water and formula at the same time. The adjustable top, the adjustable bottom here, so you can change your bottles to whatever size you are. If you go to 2 ounces, 4 ounces, 6, 10, whatever. Now on the inside of this, there is a clear plastic tab almost, and it has to sit inside of a slit on the bottom circle, bottom spinner thing. It does come out sometimes, and you will see it slowly working its way out of the formula. I'm not sure if it's designed to do that. I don't know what that flap does, but I'm almost positive that flap is required for it to function correctly. So you kind of have to make a hole, patch way through to the formula, to that tab, to keep that tab seated correctly. Another problem, another pain in the butt, but it is what it is. Another thing I have, we didn't use this for a few days, and yes, it is kind of humid here in New Jersey, but the formula on the inside clumped and became like concrete, and we ended up wasting the formula that was inside of this because we were using it for maybe 3 or 4 days. The formula started, like I said, it clumped. We had to clean this out. It was a real pain, real hassle, and it was a waste because we had to throw the formula out. We couldn't use it. kind of a problem. I guess it was more our problem because we haven't used the product and we haven't used the baby Brezza in a while, but it's too many of these circles inside. You can see there's that seat there. There's too many things inside that to move and to take out and to clean that it can be a problem. So now that you know how it works, a problem is we take this top off and this top has to be on tight, and the inside like tornado mixer has to turn, has to be tight. We ran into a problem last night where we noticed it wasn't turning because there was too much formula inside. I took that out. I took that top spindle out to move the formula so that I can get in there tight. It wasn't turning, so I don't know if we were getting enough formula with our feedings because that top part wasn't turning to mix and push the formula around. This thing is always on. It's not like a Keurig where a Keurig will heat that water up real quick to make your coffee. This is always on, and you will hear it throughout the day making a brrr to warm the water. I thought it was doing it right now. To keep this water reservoir to the right temperature, which is good because you want to be able to make a bottle whenever, which is good. However, let me make that water warm when I want it warm. I'm just kind of conscious of, I guess, energy or the product itself burning out since it's constantly on and doing something. If you turn this off with the switch in the back, which turns it completely off, I turn it off at night and we turn it back on in the morning. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes for this to warm this water up, depending how much water is in here. It's a slightly longer, maybe 2 minutes longer, if it's from 20 ounces and 50 ounces. And that is a problem when you have a screaming baby in the morning and you want to make that morning bottle because you don't have time to wait. You have to go. The temperature up here does show you that it's good or it's low. It's not ready yet, so that's very clear on if the water is ready or not. However, you do have to wait for it to warm the water up. Why? Why, I ask, because on the back of all formulas that we've had, Similac, Gerber, and I can't remember the other one right now, they all just say use room temperature water with 2 scoops. With 1 scoop of this, 2 ounces. So why do I need to spend $180, $190 on the baby Brezza that warms my water to the perfect temperature when all of the people who make the food say to use room temperature water? That's my problem. That's my problem. We've just been using this at night. No product placement. We've been using this room temperature water at night to feed them as opposed to coming downstairs and using this because it's kind of a hassle to come downstairs, make a bottle, where we can just keep a bottle with water in it readily available upstairs at room temperature, pour the formula in, shake it up real quick and go. This formula, we don't get so much bubbles on the top. When we were using the Gerber, what was that? The Gentle or the Similac, it did have bubbles on the top, so we had to wait a little bit for the bubbles to kind of reside. This, not so much. With the baby Brezza, there's no bubbles because you're not shaking it; you're stirring it, so it makes it a lot faster to eat. Whereas if you're using like a Similac and we were using just regular water and shaking it, we had to wait a little bit, or we would have to worry about him getting so much gas because the bubbles, you could see the bubbles at the top of the bottle. This, there are no bubbles. We have not run into bubbles ever with it. It's just, why do I need to spend all this money on this? It's very cool. It's very neat because it does make the water. It does mix everything. You come here, you hit the start button, and within seconds you have a bottle, and you're ready to go. You just put the top on, you feed. With this, you do have to measure out your water, then take your scoops, and hopefully get the right amount because we all know that the powder, full, you have to kind of pack it, not pack it, but you have to kind of hit it so it levels off a little bit, make sure it's a full scoop. You just push the button and go with the Brezza, which is cool. If you have the money to spend, I'd say sure, maybe get the baby Brezza. Otherwise, I would say don't. I don't see a reason unless people say, unless your baby likes a warm bottle, then sure, definitely get this because it's just so much easier than warming a bottle up on the stove. If you make bottles at night, you keep them in the refrigerator and warm them. Don't. Get this. This is so much easier than keeping bottles in the fridge ready to go and then having to warm them in a pot, boiling water, hot water. just get the baby Brezza. If you're cool with mixing it yourself with this room temperature water and the formula, don't spend the money on the Brezza, baby Brezza, and just maybe get yourself something nice. Go out for a couple weeks, you know, like and get some dinner, because you don't need this. You can just use this and mix it yourself, which is what we do at night anyway, and it's not a big deal. So the baby Brezza is cool if your baby requires hot water, warm water to eat, but if you don't, just mix it yourself. It'll save you a lot of money. It's not worth it to me. Cool product, well made. I just don't see a use for it.